on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So I got a request to do a review on the Dewalt miter saw stand. So we're going to take a look at two of them. So this is the 8-foot model. This is the full size. This thing is huge. It's really heavy, and doesn't store well in the trucks. None of them. There's never anywhere to put this thing. And in small houses, this is the worst thing to use. It's always in the way. It's 12 and a half. So the full span of this thing from that very far arm to this is like 12 and a half feet. I mean, this thing's huge. This thing came with just these. I asked my boss to get these wider material supports. These are a must-have. But yeah, if mostly what you do is huge framing jobs, and you're using like 14-foot, 16-foot lumber, then yeah, I guess. But still, I can still do everything with my half-size Dewalt stand as my boss can do with this one. I have additional material supports that I use as an outfeed table for the table saw, and can be used as an extra support on the end of one of these. Less stuff in the truck and less weight in the truck too. So yeah, we'll go take a look at the other one right now. All right, here's the half model. All folded up, 3.5 feet long when it's folded. This one's just under 6 feet. And from support arm to support arm, it's about 8 feet. And these wide material supports are an absolute must. If you're cutting wider boards, It's nicer for that. And if you're cutting little, like 1/4-inch PVC moldings, they tend to want to flop off the saw in either backwards or forwards with just this one. So if you put this wider one on, prevents it from sliding off. Flat up the feet. Yeah, it's a bit different. This one's much lighter, and it stores very nicely in the truck. And I'm going to show you that when we go out. And I'm a big Milwaukee person, but the reason I didn't go with Milwaukee was I saw online that it had an adjustable foot, and we all know what happens with adjustable feet. They fall off and they get lost. So, and I've used this one before. You know, I've been using this one for a while. I just wanted something more portable, and I snapped my 7 1/4 Milwaukee saw on that, and it's like the ultimate combo, man. You can go anywhere, you can get it anywhere, you can get into anything pretty much with no power, and it'll take care of it. Even crown. I've done up to about 5-inch crown, but you need a little crown holder from Home Depot, which instead of flipping the crown upside down, you flip it upright, and it just sticks, the crown sticks out from the saw like this. And plus I went with Dewalt because a lot of other people have Dewalt, and you know, like my boss has Dewalt, so they're these little connectors, you know, we have them on all of our tools, so we could take that saw, put it there, I can put my saw on his, you know, it's just more like we can change things around a little easier. I don't know. And I just think it's a very, very well built stand, man. Everything slides nice. But all day long, I would go with the shorter one. DWX 724 compact miter saw stand. It's worth every cent. And like I said, if this isn't long enough from the center of where your blade's gonna be to here, you can add another support out here, which I have in the truck that I use for an outfeed table too, so it has two purposes. You know, it takes up one spot in the truck. So yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and the one problem we find with this big one is it's so heavy and so like cumbersome to move around. These are constantly getting bashed, and you have to set these for every saw. So I just got tired of it. I drilled a hole and I put some screws on my boss's so I didn't have to keep messing with it. And I may do the same to mine, but this thing is light enough to carry around. I can store it and it's not getting bashed around. And I haven't really had a problem with these coming out of adjustment, so I haven't had to do it yet. So I'll go show you, I'm gonna go show you how I store this thing. I've had two different vans with two different kinds of shelves, and it stores in the same place very nicely. So let's go check it out. Alright, and this is what I'm talking about for storage. I had a van that had metal pre-made shelves before, and this miter saw stand fit right here in that truck. So when I built these shelves, I kept that in mind, and this is the same spot again. And even these, it looks like it would hit the window. I put some little stop blocks down the bottom, so I just slide the saw in to hit the block, and then I know that I will fall short of the window when I close it. But yeah, just these are not enough, man. I would definitely order the wide material supports and then take these and just slide them onto the stand a little bit, so it gives you, you know, some support close to the saw, and then you get some further out. But yeah, that's another reason I went with Dewalt, is because they had all of these extra add-ons. They have rollers too, but I don't see rollers being any good on these stands. I kind of like the friction, a little bit of friction, so I don't have to worry about a board sliding off, you know, flying off a roof or something. Alright, let's see if I can get it out of my mouth this time correctly. So I just wanted to add this in at the end. So I used to work for this old Italian guy. He was a recovering alcoholic. Not that it really matters, but this guy was super organized. Everything had its place. He never bought something that he didn't know where it was going to go in the work truck. Every single Friday, we would leave the job early, go back to the shop, and this was out in the suburbs, so we were able to tow a work trailer behind a work truck, and he had all the tools in the trailer. In the city, you can't really get away with that kind of stuff, so we just use the van. But every Friday, we'd go back to the shop, and we would wash the trailer and wash the truck every single week. Every week. All of his stuff was in pristine condition. You never take a tool and put it away in the truck dirty. You always clean the tool off, put it back in its case, and you put it back on the shelf, ready to go, so the next time you need it, you can grab it and use it. And not all companies are like that. Not even close. So some companies just fly by the seat of their pants. I mean, like, so I learned a lot off of this guy, and you know, my boss now, he's got a lot of tools, and he comes from like a roofing and framing background where everything's like big. You know, he's just big stuff, you know. But mostly what we do is remodeling, and we're in small houses, so his big stuff wasn't working out for me too well. So I started buying my own stuff, and that's what got me onto this Dewalt miter saw stand, was that 8-foot stand or 6-foot stand that goes out to 12 feet. It's a bear to move around. It does not store in any van. Like, you see how long it is. You can't stand it up like I had it in the truck. And if you lay it on the floor, it takes up the floor space. So there goes material room. And every time you need something, it's in the way. So I don't know, just it didn't work out. But you know, if you're in the market for a miter saw stand, honestly, I think this Dewalt compact miter saw stand is the best one out there. You know, I'm not all Milwaukee. I'm mostly Milwaukee for like battery stuff, just because I want to stick to one battery. But for other stuff, I do like a lot of Dewalt stuff. Like, I have their shop router too, which is an excellent shop router. But yeah, this stand is definitely worth looking into. And Home Depot used to stock only the biggest one, but I've noticed recently they took the big one off, and now they have the compact one because they started realizing that the big one's not selling anymore. And the big one's like 190 bucks, and then the half size is like 180 bucks. It's only a $10 difference. And don't let that, like, don't get the big one. You will hate it. I'm telling you. Get the smaller one. You'll be glad you did. So that's it for this one, guys. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time.